What's up, everyone? Welcome to our PPC Case Studies webinar. I am here. I am Bobby. This is Carl. We're on a few minutes early here. We just went live just to let everyone start trickling in here. We're going to get going around 2 o'clock here, so you can hang tight with us.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome, welcome. Very excited to get going today. Coming live from HOTH HQ.
Got that presentation ready over there, Carl?
Got the presentation ready. We're ready to go. We got people trickling in. What's going on? Hello, everyone.
Yeah, if you're already in here, let us know where you're watching from in the chat here. We got we'll do more formal introductions in a second here, but we got Becca, our PPC campaign manager, in the chat as well. So,
nice. We got Orlando, Florida, Orlando, Sacramento. Got Josh from Jax, New York, Tampa, Atlanta. Yeah, I got some people in our backyard here.
Serious.
Sweden, Houston. Very nice, very nice.
Bill, where are you at in Tampa? We're right across the bay in St. Pete.
Bill, what's going on? Waving out the window across the bay at him.
Carl's got the water view. Memorial Highway.
Yeah.
Okay, very nice. Nice. All right, we got some international viewers as well. Sweden,
Vancouver.
Hoover.
What's up, Andrew? How's it going?
Nice. You're just joining. We're just hanging out. We're going to get going in about 2-3 minutes here, right at 2 o'clock. We're just on a little early to let people start coming in and reserving their seat.
Yeah, thank you, everyone, joining us today. Going to be talking about PPC, very exciting stuff, and how to grow your business. LA, California, what's going on, David? Walter, can my business partner join us? Do you have a link?
Yeah, there's he just has to go through the sign up process really quick. Let me put that link in the chat here.
Awesome. Dunedin.
There's no way to just unfortunately with Demio's webinar software, we love Demio, but there's no way for a direct link. So he's just got to go here really quick, put in his email, and then he should be able to sign right on. Dunedin, I got another local.
All right, man. Wow, this room is getting packed up. We are getting people engaged. We're about 1 minute out, and we're going to get rolling here. So who's excited to get started today?
Anyone running ads already? Anyone thinking about it?
Oh. Nice.
Josh is running ads.
Josh.
With his hand. Noah is.
The ad is running ads.
Yeah. Oh.
Love it. Noah, Steve, thinking about it. Don, nice. Don, I expect some really good questions if you're thinking about it. Let's talk about it later today. Ran ads before paying someone now. Doesn't seem worth it to pay someone. Frank, I would love to hear more about that. Martin, perhaps. Don, sounds good. Perfect.
All right. Well, it is 2 o'clock, so I say let's jump into it here if you're ready to go, Carl.
Yeah, let's do it. We're going to get started. Once again, my name is Carl Bartling. I'm the PPC manager here at the HOTH. I manage our PPC squad, and we're going to go through some PPC case studies and how to generate some leads for your business in today's world.
Yeah, so my name's Bobby. I'm the marketing manager here at the HOTH. I don't do much on the PPC team, but I'm in charge of all the webinars. So I'm the host today. I'm in charge of giving Carl an awesome introduction here, and he is the PPC man. He started our PPC product last August, I believe, and has been crushing it ever since. It is my pleasure to turn it over to him. He is going to be leading this presentation. I'll be in the chat if you have any questions throughout it. Let us know. If we don't answer it, we'll probably just mark it as a question, and we'll save it for the Q&A at the end. And we also have our other PPC team member, Becca, in the chat as well. So if you got any questions, throw them in there. But I will turn it over to you, Carl.
All right, awesome. I will share my screen, and we'll dive into this. Let's go.
All right. We'll get our faces off this screen so we can actually learn something.
All right, awesome. Can everybody see my screen? Can we get a 1 in the chat? If we can see my screen, awesome.
Looks good.
2020 PPC case studies, perfect. So as mentioned, my name is Carl Bartling. I'm a PPC manager here at the HOTH, and we're going to be going over the 2020 PPC case studies. What's working now with PPC? I think that's one thing that everybody wants to know about, and we're going to go through this together. So welcome, everyone. Very excited. Thank you so much for joining us today, spending your time with us. And so overall, this is going to be for you if you want to generate consistent leads and sales using PPC without burning thousands in ad spend. You've been burned in the past or seen no results. We're actually going to break down how we set you up for success with PPC, and you want to see what is working for individuals in your same situation. This can be straight to the point, covering real business PPC case studies. Inside this presentation, it's designed to show you real-world scenarios. So this isn't theory. This isn't anything like that. This is actually real-world scenarios of clients that we are currently working with, and I'll show you exactly how to run profitable campaigns that drive consistent leads. And then finally, we're going to dive in specifically on strategies that you can take and implement immediately after this presentation. During this presentation, we'll be covering a lot, 30 to 45 minutes, pure training, and then if you have questions, put them in the chat just like Bobby said. And then finally, stick around until the end. I'll show you where to get the slides. We're going to go through a ton of Q&A, and then we'll have a special deal for those who stick around. So I have one simple goal for you guys. It's show you how real businesses are running wildly profitable campaigns and generating leads with Google Ads. I want to actually give you the insight, pull the curtain back, and show you guys that. But why listen to me? So I'm PPC manager here at the HOTH. You know, what's just a title, right? I opened my first business when I was 17 and landed my first rock star client when I was 18. I actually had a custom motorcycle shop at that time, and I was dealing with physical rock stars and working on their motorcycles. And that's how I really got into the marketing world, social media, advertising. That's really when it all started. I have over 5+ years experience in paid traffic and full funnel builds. Before being at the HOTH, I actually had my own agency and working with some individuals like Kevin Harrington from Shark Tank. Now I help manage millions of dollars in ad spend for clients, and I love my wife, cats, all things marketing, and motorcycles. And overall, why the HOTH? The HOTH is an Inc. 5000 company. We've been voted as Tampa Bay Business Journal. We've been in Forbes. You guys have known us about SEO. We've been around since 2010, so we are going on some time here. But we've recently launched PPC. We just went after our 1-year anniversary with serving PPC clients, a lot of local businesses, helping them generate leads and sales online. And so the PPC strategy and process that we use is all part of our HOTH PPC Managed program. We actually take over your ad account and do everything you need to get results. And we have over 100+ clients currently on this program. So everything that we go inside today is a step-by-step process that we use to get the best results for our clients. So who's ready to go? Let's get a thumbs up in the chat, a little thumbs up emoji. Awesome, here they come. Thumbs up, let's go.
Boom.
Awesome. So the first case study is an interesting one. It's how to turn around a failing campaign and drive hundreds of leads. This was a fun one because as you guys can see when I go into the case study today, they've actually worked with an agency in the past. So I actually saw that kind of in the beginning of this webinar with some individuals were saying, you know, maybe they've had people managing their campaigns in the past, not too sure if they see a lot of value from it. And I actually want to dive into that. And so this client, they actually were running with an agency in the past, weren't seeing too much value from it. And we're going to show you what was uncovered. So this case study is about a local auto dealership who was using another agency. Like I said, they spent over $70,000 in ads, but our client stated they really didn't move the needle much for their business. So overall, they just weren't getting that value, but ultimately they weren't getting the return on investment. And when we saw this, we just said 70,000 in ads that didn't work. I mean, that was just kind of jaw-dropping when we saw that. So with every single campaign that comes through the door, if they've been running ads in the past, we always start with an audit, right? Because with the audits, we can actually cover past data and see what worked and what didn't work. And if something smells a little bit weird, we'll find out what it is and ultimately fix it. And as you guys can see here, we saw on the right-hand side, we just saw the big key point was under the conversions here, they were viewing a key page. So all the conversions was just viewing one single page. So two big takeaways from the initial audit was that we found tracking issues, and tracking by far is one of the most complex items. And so tracking can be complex, and one small mistake can take you down a path of misleading information. It must be set up properly to track proper leads and sales. If you don't have tracking, you can't really fully understand what's going on with your PPC because you don't have the proper data. So here's the big mistake we found. They were counting page views as actual leads. You can see here, used car inventory clicks was just viewing a key page. So this was somebody viewing their actual inventory. And then their conversions, they had over 5,800 conversions, but they were just inventory clicks. And so this doesn't work because we can't actually measure the right action. We don't know where the lead came from, if the ads are driving calls, which ads are working, which keywords are working, so on and so forth, right? So if you're sending them to just an inventory page and that's what you count as a conversion, well, that's not really somebody taking action or anything like that. So this ultimately makes it impossible to track if the ads are actually working. So I see a lot of times conversions need to be accounted for when someone actually takes an action. So that's going to be form fills, phone calls, or a sale, not page views or button clicks or anything like that. So we actually, from the get-go, set up that somebody, when they viewed a landing page and they opted in, that's when they would become a lead. And then if somebody actually called directly from our ad, that's when they would go through and become a lead. Because if somebody actually called us or opted in, that's what we would consider a lead or a conversion. We did not just, if somebody clicked a button or viewed a certain page, we did not consider that a lead. And so the second one is we found the homepage. So why you shouldn't use your homepage. All the traffic was going directly to their homepage. And homepages are great. They look nice. They're a really great resource for the actual business, but homepages are built to browse and not capture leads. You can see here, there's a lot of distracting elements that actually hurt conversions. So how do we fix it, right? How do we fix conversions and how do we fix the destination? We set up proper tracking and we set up specific landing pages for this client. Here's ultimately how it worked. We had a specific ad. So when somebody typed in used car dealership, they would click on the ad and then actually go over to the specific landing page. And then after they opted in, they would land on the confirmation page. And that is actually where the conversion was counted. So this wasn't, they weren't just viewing a inventory page, anything like that. Somebody actually had to opt in and land on a specific page, and they could only get there after they opted in. So once we got that information, we considered that a lead and counted that as one conversion. So by combining some proper tracking and high converting landing pages, we know exactly what's going on. No more of the days of just counting page views or seeing how much traffic's going over to your website or anything like that. We know exactly what part of the campaign's working and what part is not. So the strategy behind it was that we researched and planned campaigns around high intent keywords, meaning we didn't want to focus just on maybe like cars or things like that. We focus on like car dealership near me. So when somebody actually types in car dealership near me, we actually know that they are focused on that specific. They're looking for a car dealership. We had a great campaign under used cars, and then we had a branded campaign as well. The next one, we pre-optimized the campaigns. So going in and adding negative keywords beforehand and building out a proper system with tracking, of course, before even going live. And we designed and implemented high converting landing pages with proper tracking. This is probably one of the biggest pieces that I see missing in most campaigns that come across our desk is the landing pages. And then finally, we launched campaign and we started optimization. And who's ready to see some results? So overall, we went from spending $70,000 and not really seeing the needle move for that business, and we weren't really tracking on the actual conversions or the systems at all. And the results were awesome. So this campaign started driving hundreds of leads. We saw nearly immediately results after implementing our strategy. Now they could actually see which leads came from where. A lot of times with businesses, especially going to a website, you can't go in and actually track every single thing unless you go through maybe a third-party system. But with having specific landing pages for your PPC campaign, we can actually track everything needed, calls and form fills typically. Now, this is going to help because you can see your direct efforts going from your PPC campaign and how much you're spending compared to maybe your SEO efforts, maybe your social campaigns, maybe you have LinkedIn ads, but all it comes back to is what's going on with the PPC campaign. So now we can attribute specific leads, the specific lead quality, and how much of we're closing to that specific campaign. Once again, that way we could actually justify their ad spend, and most importantly, the phone started ringing and the leads started following. This was awesome. So one thing that we do always is we do some preliminary research and we figure out how many leads are possible, right? Because if you guys are running a PPC campaign, we want to make sure that you're going to get the best results, and we set expectations in the beginning. So we actually broke down how many leads were possible and then the cost per lead. So this initially was 337 leads over about 90 days. And inside of that, we actually got 752 leads, a mix of form fills as well as phone calls. So in 90 days, we smashed our lead generation goal. We built a full hands-off solution where they focus on selling cars and we focus on bringing the leads in the door. And that's where we really want to be with partnerships and clients of ours, is they focus on what they're really good at with, and we're going to get them leads consistently because that helps a business maintain but also grow over time. We gave them a true and accurate data to understand and review with upper management, and we saved them thousands of wasted ad spend and expensive agency fees. Now with this, the amount of leads here, this was nowhere even close to that 70,000 that they would spend with that agency month after month, and that was the beautiful thing. They were saying more leads. They were seeing actual real results. Page views do not, unfortunately, you can't take page views to the bank, but closed leads, that's actually going to give you money to the bank. So really, really exciting stuff with this one. Some major takeaways is make sure your tracking is set up properly and you're tracking the right things. You don't want to do page views. You don't want to do, just button clicks or anything like that. You want to actually talk about what is an action that your individual, before they actually opt in or become a lead or actually you close them as a customer. What are those things going to be? What are those actions? So phone calls, form fills, maybe even live chat. And then we use high converting landing pages to capture information, not your home page. So high converting landing pages are just specific pages that people go to that are built on a third-party system of ours. We have an internal system that we use to build landing pages, and that's where everything filters on through. That allows us to, once again, for people to stay on that landing page, be focused on what they came over there for. So if they focused on, they search for used cars, then they went to a landing page all about our used car selection and specials going on, not just the homepage where they could be guessing and browsing and just bouncing off. And then finally, we optimize the campaigns over time, and you need to optimize your campaigns over time based on the data you collect to continuously decrease your costs and increase your conversions. These leads you guys see in 90 days, when we set up the campaign, it wasn't a set it and forget it. That is something that we go in on a weekly basis, 2 or 3 times a week, and we're actually working on these campaigns to get these results. The work is not done when the campaign planning and the campaign goes live. It is a continuous optimization and piece that we put in there. I noticed a lot of people actually have mentioned about negative keywords. We do use negative keywords, and that's something we pre-optimize. So negative keywords are great, and what they are actually keywords that you don't want your ads to show up for. And so I think every campaign that goes out of our from our team here in the HOTH PPC department all have negative keywords. And so those are keywords, once again, that your ads don't want to show up for. So one way we use negative keywords with this dealership was for models that they didn't have or maybe lower budget. So a lot of times their inventory didn't go less than $5,000 for a car. And so we actually added as negative keywords, $500, $900, $2,000, $2,500. So we got very specific, and that's what we call traffic sculpting. We can actually sculpt the traffic that's coming to your actual ad campaign and coming to your landing pages. And so that's one way we pre-optimize is with negative keywords, and that's going to be probably the biggest ROI mover. And then on top of that, we pre-optimize with some actual by split testing multiple ads, 2 or 3 ads at a time. So do you guys see how those few elements made a huge difference just from going from tracking and setting up specific landing pages? Can I get a 1 in the chat? Awesome. All right, Bobby, how are we looking on questions? You want me to keep going to the second case study?
We there's been a couple questions about how exactly do you pre-optimize? Could you touch on that quick?
Yeah, definitely. So we pre-optimize by the one thing is keeping a really tight campaign. When we think about a campaign, we think about them as a theme. And so for this specific dealership, we focused on one of their biggest movers, and they were known for was their inventory with used cars. And so that's where one campaign solely focused. So if you're a used car dealership, you just need to have one campaign about used car dealership. If you're web design, you need to be focusing that theme just about maybe e-commerce web development or WordPress web development or app development. If you're a plumber, it just needs to be about one service. Everybody seems to go very, very broad and general when they build out one single campaign. We go with one theme, and it's very, very tight because then our ads match our landing page. So our keywords, our ads, and our landing page all match. And then we just build separate campaigns based on those themes. On top of that, then we go in and add negative keywords, of course. And negative keywords are going to be things that we don't want to show up for. So with that used car dealership, we actually focused on negative keywords like new. Once again, pricing was a big one. If you're a plumber or like a realtor, maybe even a plumber, you know, we would do like tools or DIY or supplies because a lot of those plumbers don't have that. A realtor would maybe be like realtor license, training, things of that nature we would add as negative keywords.
Quick. Other than that, do you have any, are there any tools out there to help with negative keywords?
Yeah, so I've gone through quite a few tools and I've screened a lot of them. I've tested them out. Unfortunately, negative keywords are just something that you need to do manually. It's just something that you cannot rely on a tool for. Just because I was actually just going through this today with somebody in the office was that, you know, when you look at a search term, adding a negative keyword, it's just so it's just so everything's so scenario based. So a machine learning AI machine learning is just not up to speed yet of like what the scenario would be, and they just don't know your business enough to add negative keywords. So it's a very manual approach, and that's something why we go in and our team actually goes in 2 to 3 times a week minimum, depending on the spend level and how many clicks we get. We have to go in and check those search terms and add those negative keywords in a lot. So
gotcha. So you're constantly adding to it then.
Yeah, that's one of those big optimization pieces. That's that constant maintenance. It's just never set it and forget it.
Perfect. Well, thank you. We'll let you dive back into number 2 here.
All right, awesome. So case study number 2 was a very exciting one. We actually were able to reduce a cost per lead by more than 90% in a highly competitive and expensive niche. So before I tell you guys about this specific niche, I want everyone to take the blinders off. Meaning when you look at this, I want you to think how this could be used for my niche. If you're a lawyer, if you're a emergency plumber, I see that being cost per click very high. If you're a roofer, if you're a realtor, you know, a lot of these local service businesses, there's so much competition now that their actual niche becomes very, very expensive on Google. So I want you guys to start taking pieces from this case study and see how you can work this into your own business to generate those consistent leads. So the background of this client is in drug and rehab space, which is one of the most competitive spaces in PBC. Their average customer value is $30,000. So having a high cost per acquisition is still extremely profitable for them. And they came to us to reduce their cost per acquisition and drive in consistent leads. So basically they were getting a very high cost per lead, plus their close rate was very high, was very low as well. So just overall, they were closing someone for thousands upon thousands of dollars, but they were still making $30,000 in return. And so the math and things that we're going to go through could work for many businesses. Like I always use a plumber as an example, just because there's such a high customer lifetime value for this. So I want everyone to kind of put that in place. Although you may pay X amount of dollars for a cost per lead, and then you close that person, you may say, well, I might break even on my first sale, but 5 years down the road when you still have that customer, that's when you're actually going to be seeing that ROI coming in again month after month or repair after repair. Not in 5 years, but just over the lifetime value of that customer. So when we got this account, once again, we started with an audit, and we just saw things all over the place. We saw conversions costing upwards of $23,000. It was pretty interesting stuff. And what we learned from this was that we learned we learned that there was a lot of mistakes that were costing them thousands of dollars. These issues plague accounts because Google Ads has tons of booby traps that are designed to make Google more money. We just saw little settings all over the place that were just mismatched. So one of the big examples here was the search partners checkbox. And so one of Google's power is really through the search intent of their search platform. Everyone knows about Google search, and that's a free tool that everyone uses, and it's one of the most used. It is the #1 search engine on the internet. Now, the way they make their money is by their ads, and that's how they make their money as Google. People trust Google and search on Google with exactly what they're looking for. So as you can see here in the screenshot here, you see luxury rehab. So if somebody's typing in luxury rehab, ads come up for that, but it actually allows us to focus in on, once again, those keywords or searches that we're bidding on. It allows us to show up for those specific searches. But inside Google Ads, there's actually a hidden setting called search partners. This is actually set on, this is clicked by default, and most people leave this on. It's a tiny little checkbox that's on by default, and this puts your ads on partner sites, which are often sites you don't want to show up on. In all our experience, this can dramatically reduce your results and eat up your budget. Overall, we've seen actually the cost per click go down, and then what happens is it's actually not that quality of traffic because you lose out on that really high intent traffic, and then you have less and less of a conversion. So we found with search partners under placements, we found really low intent placements. So you see beer100.com is set here, and I put it just a nice little box around so everybody could see it, because this is for a luxury rehab company. And now if you're on beer100.com, most likely it's your one-stop guide to beer and homebrewing, but most likely that person may or may not be looking for a luxury rehab or a drug and rehab placement area. They may not be looking for that actual service. They might just probably be looking for beer and homebrewing guides. So that is really, really big right there. And one thing that we find is that just this is such a relevant traffic. The percentage of people actually looking for a drug and rehab facility is very, very low. The next big one that we found was Jailbase.com. And so on this, you could look up information about people who got arrested. And once again, I'm not sure about you guys, but probably 99.9% of traffic is not looking right now for a luxury rehab center at all. And that was a big eye-opener for us with Google Search Partners, that this is not the place for this client to be. So by eliminating search partners, we actually saw the costs go down and conversions go up. And the reason for this is because we're getting much, much more relevant traffic. And once again, with the booby trap, search partners is just one example of the many ways that advertisers are losing money that they don't even know about. We, in the HOTH PBC team, we know all these tricks, and we eliminate all of them aggressively before the campaign even goes live. Once again, part of our pre-optimization to save you money overall. And the strategy behind this one was that we fixed all the booby traps and eliminated search partners. We rebuilt all of their campaigns using high intent keywords, and we focused on exact match and phrase match keywords to really hone it in. So instead of having just keywords all over the place, we focused on Malibu drug rehab, inpatient drug rehab centers in California. Once again, we could actually bet on those individuals looking for that sort of rehab center or help at least. It wasn't just these random placements all over the web that our ads would show up. These would be actually, if somebody searched for inpatient drug rehab, most likely they're looking for themselves, or they were looking for a loved one to get help. And then finally, we created compelling ads that will get high click-through rates, and we set up high converting landing pages. So once again, the simple system, the solution that we help with clients that we build for everyone, and we have a strict process for this, is we start with one theme per campaign. We start with really high intent keywords. We build out really good ads that command that click and get quality click-through rates, and then everyone gets a landing page for lead generation. So you guys can see here that when somebody typed in Malibu luxury rehab, their ad was all about luxury rehab in Malibu, and then the landing page was all about luxury rehab. But we weren't done there yet. And overall, we wanted to improve lead quality. One thing we focused on in particular was the quality of lead, right? Because they were getting leads for like $23,000. They had a really high cost per acquisition, but we wanted to make sure we were getting the most high quality leads possible. And so we added copy to both the ads and landing pages to pre-qualify prospects. Once again, we do this to pre-optimize. So when we have our onboarding call, we understand what kind of leads, who we're talking to, and things like that. So one big thing was that they didn't accept Medicare or Medicaid as insurance. And so right next to our insurance accepted, we had no Medicare or Medicaid right there. So just people knew not to even opt in or call them because they didn't even accept Medicare or Medicaid. Then we focused on this market often didn't want to fill out the form because this is a highly personal, right? It's a very confidential situation. You could just feel kind of off just about inputting your information to a stranger's website. So we gave the prospects the option to fill out a form or actually call in, and we tracked it all like a boss. The results were pretty awesome. So we saw a massive lead increase. And you guys can see here, just from day one, I mean, this thing skyrocketed from building out these really tight campaigns and having this strategic system in place. And we drove down that lead cost like crazy. So before, we were getting leads, or they were getting leads on average for anywhere from 3,000 to 7,000. We saw that first example when we did that audit all the way up to $23,000. And then after, we were able to get leads all the way down to $63 with an average 63 to 424. So that lead cost just, we drove it all the way down, and these were consistent leads. You guys could see conversion, 71, 12, 59. I mean, massive amounts of leads. They were closing deals left and right. And finally, the biggest thing is, how do we grow a business? How do we help? We scale. So we were able to scale them to 18,000 plus in ad spend, and we got them consistent results. So we spent about 18,000, 164 conversions, and our average cost per conversion was only $110. So that was awesome. So ultimate results, we built and scaled the lead generation machine for them. We brought down their lead costs from thousands to hundreds of dollars, and their phones are ringing daily and driving in qualified leads. Once again, this is about getting them onto Google, competing with their competitors, getting the best ads out there, but being strategic and getting them ultimately the best leads so their onboarding team can actually close people and get leads in the door, ultimately making them sales and just bring in leads consistently. And the client, what they had to say, I'll kind of go through. They had provide the best PPC campaign experience of any company we've worked with, not only their knowledge and performance, but also with the way they work with us and keep us in the loop with everything they do at all times. So we're really big on transparent reporting. Obviously client communication is our number one, and understanding what the client's going through, how we can improve campaigns, lead quality, things like that. That's just our number one priority. It's not about just setting up campaigns and letting them go. It's about the continuous optimization. So some really big takeaways with this case study was that there are tons of Google booby traps that can cost you thousands of dollars if you don't know what to look for. The little check boxes for search partner or display network. Even in a competitive market, there's always a way to improve results. So we saw this. They were even happy with their initial results that they were receiving on Google Ads before HOTH PPC came in. But there's always a way to improve results. And we don't just focus on the numbers. We focus actually on the quality of leads. So, we want 412 conversions here. We want to make sure that's not just 412 conversions full of junk. We actually want to make sure that they have quality leads. So before we go into case study number 3, Bobby, we got any questions coming through?
All right, so we're talking about landing pages a little bit.
Okay.
There's a couple questions about whether to host a landing page on your site versus a third-party landing page. Do you have any input on that?
Yeah, so it really depends. So the first thing that we need to look at a landing page is that you guys could see from our few screenshots here so far that there is no navigation. So that's the first thing that I would start with. It doesn't matter if it's on a third-party site, if it's on your website, you're going to want to be focusing on no navigation and really focus on page speed load. We want that page speed load to be minimum 3 seconds or less. That's really big with Google and Google quality score as of right now.
Awesome. And the question from Jeff here, all the form subs that we get, are they tracked for end of user sales?
If in terms of are the subject for end user sales, so in terms of like maybe if they go into a CRM and we see them get closed, currently we do not have that process in place where we have like a back door to their CRM, but we do have that weekly communication with our clients to understand which leads are getting closed, which leads are quality and not quality, because 100% of leads are not always going to be quality. So that's why we have that open line of communication.
Gotcha. And with that, you're constantly optimizing to make sure you're getting the right kind of leads as well, correct?
Oh yeah, that's a major piece, right? So I can turn on a campaign probably today. I can throw it together really, really quickly if I wanted to, and probably get leads probably within the hour. But the biggest thing is, how do we build a proper campaign, take that time and plan it correctly, and then get you just the quality leads from the start. And then even if we need time to also get to know the business. We have an onboarding call. But we just get to know the business more and more we speak about it. So that really helps, especially with these competitive niches like medical rehab, lawyers, and also each market's different. So a roofer in Florida compared to Texas, much, much different in terms of copy, pain points, emotion, things like that. So there's so many different variables that we handle and take responsibility for, but it's that ongoing optimization to get that lead quality.
Perfect.
Yep.
All righty. I think that's it for now. We're racking a few up for the Q&A afterwards, but we'll let you keep going.
All right, awesome. So we got case study number 3 going right now, and this was making the phones ring for a local business. So once again, a little pre-framing for this is that overall everyone typically wants their phones ring. Can I get a 1 in the chat if who wants their phone to ring? 1. Perfect. Yeah.
Lots of ones.
Yeah, we got a ton of people. Somebody put a 0. Eric, I guess maybe you don't take phone calls. 0. Okay. So we got a few zeros in there. Text me. I like it. Perfect. Eric wants those really, really hot leads. He said, don't call me, text me. I like it. So that's awesome, guys, because everyone typically wants their phones ringing no matter the business. Let's move this on over. So the background was this was a local dentist, and they were actually running their own smart campaigns. This is probably one of my favorite case studies out of them all, just because they already had their own campaigns, and they were bringing in leads, but they wanted more out of their campaign as a whole. And I completely get this, right? Like, how much can we squeeze out of this? Like, we just want everything that we're doing as a business work for us 110%, right? The more and more we can get out of it. So we went in, we did an audit, of course, and they were spending around $1,000 per month on ad spend, and they were receiving consistent leads for around $43. Their conversions were a mix of directions, phone calls, and form fills. So out of those 3, directions was the only one that I would just be like, probably not the best, but it's a brick and mortar, so that's debatable. But phone calls and form fills, of course, was great conversions. And $43, not bad at all. So, I had a little question mark on this one, I'll be honest. I was like, how much more can we really squeeze this thing? So the initial audit, we broke it down. The campaign was performing, but we wanted to report solely on calls and form fills, not directions. And the campaign was a smart campaign with very, very limited controls. And I knew that was really our opportunity right then and there to really squeeze this thing a little bit more. Now, with a dentist, it is very competitive in most spaces. And with that being said, the cost per click can be very, very expensive for dentists just because there's so many competitors. And what are smart campaigns and how to find them? So smart campaigns are the default for new ad accounts. These have very low control, or levers, we like to say, to pull once we start the campaign. So no negative keywords. We were talking about pre-optimizing in the past. There's no negative keywords, no search term reports, no specific conversion settings, and much, much more. I mean, this is the area. It allows you to go in and create a campaign in about 5 seconds, but you lose so much control. You're giving it all up to Google. The smart campaign backend looked a little bit like this. So if you guys are running smart campaigns, you may be able to click on your actual campaign there and open it up, and this is what you would see. It would look something like this. You can see that it may seem nice and simple to new advertisers, but you generally end up paying more when you don't have control versus standard search campaigns. Plus, you also get in a lot of leads that are just maybe irrelevant to your business and actually what's going on. And we found that over 50% of our clients that come to us are using smart campaigns and losing because of it. And it's just because it's so simple to set up, and now this is the default from Google. With standard search campaigns, you get much more control. In this one screenshot, there are over 10 areas where we can adjust to optimize campaigns. And this is not for your brain to feel a little woozy or anything like that. This is for you to think, wow, like my HOTH PPC campaign managers can actually go in and have so much control over everything from ads, from demographics, the settings, the schedules, locations. We have so much control with typical Google ad campaigns and the search campaigns that we build out. And that allows you to focus on what you're doing in your business and allow us to deal with all these different controls and dials that we get to do and kind of the magic behind the curtain to get these great results. So the strategy to do this was we wanted to rebuild their current campaigns by removing unqualified traffic sources. We want to set up proper tracking systems, of course, focus on high intent emergency dental keywords. So if somebody was typing emergency dental, I mean, they had a tooth that was just painful. They just wanted it yanked out right now. They had that problem. They need the solution. Well, we're right there. And we created a copy that commanded click. So when you saw emergency dental, they would just say, are you tired of the pain? Alleviate it in the next hour, call us to book an appointment or something of that nature. And then we set up landing pages, of course, that was built to turn visitors into leads. So with our new search campaigns, we focus on one service compared to multiple service in the smart campaigns. Let me just go back to this just to show everyone real quick. You can see the search phrases here: teeth implants, dentist implants, dental implants, teeth whitening, dental implant dentist, dental implants, dental doctor. So a lot of different things that they were focused on. So we just focused on one specific service. We then drove traffic to a specific landing page around the service, and we had it dialed in with demographic and device bid adjustments, meaning the specific demo that they were looking for in terms of age, gender, location, of course, and device. So for this, we wanted to focus with device bids. We could actually adjust desktop, mobile, and tablet. And the results were pretty astronomical. So let's remember, they started at $43 per conversion, and we reduced their cost per lead by nearly 70%. And we got their cost per conversion all the way down to $13. So just look at that conversion rate going from 3.85% up to 36.54%. Now, what if everyone on this call could, just by looking at their campaigns and being very strategic of what they want to focus on, and then they had a system built just to bring in, and even if you guys are running ads already, if you guys had a system built that was so strategic and focus on 1 to 2 services and raise your conversion rate from 3.85% to 36%, would that be something you guys would all be interested in? One, yep, awesome. Of course. Like, everyone wants to see this. Everyone wants to squeeze the lemon a little bit more, and this is what they want to see. So now their cost per lead is below $15 a piece. We nearly 10x their conversion rate, and now they're getting consistent phone calls and form fills. Once again, they don't want to be focused on managing their campaign. That's most likely why they had a smart campaign, because it's more of a set it and forget it. But they want to get the best results possible, and so that's why they hired the team to just deal with it, right? Like, Carl, you and your team just go deal with it. We're just going to get the HOTH. They can deal with it and go with it, and we can do what we do, which is dental implants, which is helping people with their smile, teeth cleaning, things like that. They're day to day, right? Let us focus on the marketing. Let us focus on helping them grow their business. That's another big thing that I love about our campaign managers, is that they actually go in, and it's not just about paid traffic, gain leads. It's about understanding the business, understanding what a qualified lead looks like, coming up with different offers and angles, and being that kind of digital marketing paid traffic expert at your side, that on-demand individual that you can have in your back pocket and reach out to, right? We have Becca on here right now as a one of the moderators, and they can just reach out to Becca and be like, hey, Becca, what's going on with my campaign? I was thinking about running this special for, we got 2021 coming up. I was thinking about running this special. What do you think about that? And that's kind of that one of those value pieces, besides just leads and sales. That stuff's all great, right? But that's not where our job ends. It's really when it comes down to helping you grow your offer and grow your business and everything that goes forward with it. So some big takeaways to kind of wrap this one up was the smart campaigns can work in certain circumstances, but standard campaigns often offer a lot more control. And by following a comprehensive strategy, you can massively reduce your costs and get more leads. And overall, here's what the client had to say. I'm very satisfied with the HOTH. The service is outstanding, and most importantly, my client is getting consistent results. Thank you so much for all of your help. So this was actually through a reseller of ours, which is awesome. We do offer white label PPC, and we get to help individuals grow their agencies through our services as well. So do you guys see how this could work almost in any niche? Can we get a 1 in the chat? 1, 1-1, nice. Nice, coming on in. We see that we focus on automotive, health and wellness, a local dentist. I mean, just all over the place. And the best part of it all was this was all on the same system, right? Like, as you guys saw, we did an audit. We built the campaign just focusing on 1 or 2 different services. We built landing pages, set up tracking. This wasn't all over the place. This wasn't some crazy strategy that just works once. This literally worked for all these different case studies. But that's truly not all, and that's the best part. That's the one thing I love about this. We've done this for hundreds of niches. We have over 100 plus clients right now just on with us, and they're all over the place, from web design, SEO agencies, mail enhancement, forklift rental, driveway pavers, addiction rehab, auto dealerships, sell my house, mortgages, basement waterproofing, event and AV equipment rental, dentists, plumbers, tax services, scooter and motorbike rental. I mean, dog trainer. It's just all over the place, right? So this is the funnest thing, is that we get to help businesses in so many different niches. This isn't just a webinar about plumbers or just dentists or, oh, we're crushing in real estate. Like, we crush in so many different niches because we have that proper process and strategy built out. So who would like to get results like these for your business or for your clients? Can we get a 1 in the chat? Loving the engagement, guys. Keeping it going. Loving it. 1, baby. Yeah, that's what we're talking about, Jordan. Boom. 1, 1, 1. Loving it. So the biggest problem that we find is most people don't know where to start, right? Even after this webinar, you still might be a little confused. You're like, Carl's talking about, campaign planning, audits, negative keywords, smart campaigns, standard campaigns. And it's like, where do I even go, right? PPC can be very confusing on the best approach. I mean, there's some days where I just know individuals that come in and they're just like, I don't even know what to do. I built this campaign. I had an agency build in the past. I don't know what to do with it. And they can literally burn thousands of dollars in ad spend. Like, think about that client we had in that first case study where they spent $70,000 and they didn't really see like much from it. They couldn't walk away and be like, wow, I know Google Ads is crushing it for my automotive industry. And I see this day in and day out, right? People say, Carl, can you look at my campaigns? Can we do an audit? Sure thing. Like, we'll definitely do an audit and take a look. But just everybody's so confused, and they tend to burn so much money because there's so many little dials in Google Ads. And that's one thing that we've mastered. And I'm proud to say that we have a team of experts here at the HOTH. And overall, they might have been turned off by past marketing agencies. So we created the ultimate solution. And that's why I was brought onto the HOTH. Like, back to my story, I had an agency before this, and that's why I was brought here to the HOTH to create HOTH PPC, the one, the only, right? HOTH PPC is our ultimate done-for-you, all-in-one lead generation service. So you actually you don't have to worry about being confused. You know how much you're spending. You're not wasting your ad spend and actually getting no results. It's the best way to start generating high-quality leads from Google Ads on autopilot, right? You get to speak with your campaign manager on a weekly, monthly basis, every few months, whatever the case is. You get weekly reports, a ton of stuff, and you get a team dedicated driving leads and ultimately helping your business grow. Remember, this is like somebody having a digital marketing expert in your back pocket about generating leads. It's just not about Google Ads or paid traffic. That's all. That doesn't matter, right? The part that matters is about generating you guys leads and helping grow your business and having that clear communication, because setting up a smart campaign on Google or AdRoll or Facebook or another, it doesn't matter the platform, they don't know your business, right? The communication, that's what builds these campaigns and really, really helps grow your business and your campaigns to get the most out of them, just like we did with that dentist. So here's how it works. When people join HOTH PPC, we ask you a few questions. It allows us to do some pre-research, put together some of those estimated cost per leads and number of leads that you'll get. So once again, we set those clear expectations just from the beginning, and I've actually had cases where sometimes that cost per lead or the number of leads may not work due to closing ratios. And we say, that's okay. Maybe another service or another marketing campaign would be better for you at this time. Next big thing is you have a dedicated campaign manager. That is your go-to person. You need to email them. You need to call them. They're readily available, of course, during working hours for you and your campaign, and they're watching it all the time. And every campaign manager is Google Ads certified. We are a Google Ad partner, which is awesome. And during your onboarding, we're going to actually go through with a set of questions to dig into your target customer. Now, once again, all the strategy stuff, all that doesn't matter unless we know about who your customer is, who that audience is. And actually, with that, If we don't know who your audience is or you don't know who your audience is, that's perfectly fine. I don't want anybody to be kind of sit back a little bit and be kind of afraid of that, because we'll help you figure out who that target customer is. And we have the questions, we have the knowledge to kind of dive in and understand who that customer is for you. Because once we know who that customer is, then we can actually write that ad copy and that landing page copy to make them convert, just like we did with these past case studies. And just wait for the results I'm about to show you. It's awesome. So finally, then we go into some campaign planning. We go through the proven process. So everything that we broke down today, you receive landing pages, all the keywords, ad copy, all that fun stuff, all that stuff you don't want to think about. We build out those high converting landing pages. So we write and design those landing pages for you. And that pricing is already built into our package. So you don't have to worry about all these different prices tacked on to your main management fee. They're beautiful. They match your brand and are proven to convert highly. So we're not only taking responsibility for the traffic, we take responsibility for the conversions and, once again, ultimately the leads and lead quality. And then we go live and optimize. From there, once we go live, we check your accounts daily and perform our strategic series of optimizations. Once again, we do a lot of upfront work, and that really helps campaigns get kicked off, but it's the optimization that keeps them going, and we really get to squeeze that lemon more and more. On top of that, we have transparent reporting, and then we have weekly reports and monthly strategy calls. So once again, you have your campaign manager on demand, plus you're going to have monthly strategy calls. And if you want to talk to them weekly, go for it. Give them a call, book a call. That's perfectly fine. We get to talk to our clients all the time, and we love talking to our clients and helping them ultimately grow their business through HOTH PPC. It's truly an all-in-one system. We created this to be a truly all-in-one Google Ads management service that goes above and beyond. We're just not here for paid traffic. We're just not here to generate leads. We're here to ultimately help you grow your business and just be your paid traffic experts in your back pocket. So exciting stuff. I know that was a lot to go through, everyone. But for everyone who stayed on this webinar this long, we have a special webinar offer for you. This is super exciting. We're actually offering a free month of HOTH PPC, a $500 value. You'll get a free month of HOTH PPC when you sign up for 3 months. So it's basically you get 2 months, you pay for 2 months, and you get one whole for free. So let's actually talk about how we can start generating leads for you on demand. You go to hoth.com/rock and book a call. That's the hoth.com/rock and book a call. And you guys can bring up about the free month for PPC, about claiming that. Just tell me you're on the webinar, and then we could talk about actually some estimates, cost per lead, and if this is actually for you, this is right for you. Bobby, we got any questions coming on through?
Got it right now. Do you want to address the minimum spends?
Yeah, definitely. So let's talk about it. So minimum ad spend actually starts at $250. We have 3 different packages that we start with. It's either call only. So if you were like that dentist and you needed phone calls, call only is a great way to start, and that's $250 minimum ad spend. We have a remarketing only. So if you already have traffic already, I'm sure you guys have been to the HOTH website, of course, since you booked for this. But if you ever been to the HOTH website and left, you saw those ads kind of follow you around. That starts at $250 minimum ad spend. That's remarketing only. And then we have HOTH PPC, which is the full, mamma jamma, the full works. And that's a minimum $1,000 a month ad spend. And that just gives us enough ad spend to test everything and make sure you're going to get proper results.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. Awesome. We got some questions. Do you want to save it for the Q&A, or do you want to jump into them now?
Yeah, let's go through a few more, and then we'll get into those questions.
Perfect.
All right, so everybody, you can book a call here, the hoth.com/rock. Once again, no obligation. Just you can talk to them about PPC, but you also get that free month. Just let them know that you guys were actually on the webinar. So we've been getting some great results and reviews. I want to share these with you. I know that we went through some case studies already, but for an e-commerce client, we were able to reduce their cost per lead by 85%. Working with the HOTH PPC has been a real pleasure. My account manager, Carl Bartling, has been very hands-on. We're all about being one with your business, right? We're a bolt-on piece to your business. We're a supporting bracket to your business. He's very easy to work with, was quick to understand our needs, and has been very prompt with answering our emails. Drug rehabilitation PPC, we reduced our cost per lead by 60%. We drove 752 leads for an auto dealership, 1,400 plus leads for a local retailer in 6 months. This was a fun one because they were a brick and mortar an appliance company, and we got them 1,400 leads. I mean, think about it, 6 months. If your brick and mortar local business got 1,400 leads, what would that do for your business, right? Just think about that. Just what would that do for your business? I mean, it would be 1,400 leads is an astronomical amount of leads, and that could grow your business through the roof. For an e-commerce store, we had a 532% return on ad spend, ROAS. Rating reviews, your PPC campaign has brought in more revenue than any other marketing efforts I've done in the past decade. HOTH PPC has been fantastic. My campaign manager, Bridget, has gone above and beyond repeatedly. Working with her has been like having our own in-house PPC department. This is what I've been preaching this whole time. And this is what I want everyone to understand. It's just not about paid traffic. For us, it's about getting you paid traffic. It's about getting leads and ultimately growing your business. Do you want these types of results? Can we get a yes in the chat? One. Yes. Flowing in. Love it. Because we have them more. So Amazon account lawyer. We've worked with dating services, local dentist, web design and development, hyperbaric chamber sales, hypnotist, drug and alcohol, med spa clinic, right? That one's a difficult one to get on PPC. Med spa clinic is very difficult. iPhone repair. I knew this one came up in the chat. iPhone repair. Yes, we have recently just scaled this. See, that says 2020. We've just grown this because they were shut down. We were able to grow this with 17% conversion rate and crush it on form fills and phone calls. We were doing this not only for somebody in the US, but also international. Media buying software, oral surgeon, personal injury lawyer, pest control. I mean, the list goes on. Private schools, apartment finders, scooter or motorbike rental, SEO, window tinting. It doesn't matter what niche you're in. We've worked with hundreds of different niches. And the best part is this isn't a custom thing, right? You don't have to worry about what's going to work or like, oh, does the HOTH have to figure out how this works? No, we have the process that works, and it's worked for hundreds of different niches over time. So plans starting at only $500 per month for HOTH PPC. And then as mentioned, that call only or remarketing only, if you want to do those actually only start at $250 per month. But ultimately, who is this best for? I think that's a big question that a lot of people ask. You must be generating consistent sales. That's a big one. So I want to make sure that people are actually getting sales before they come on to HOTH PPC, because if you're not getting consistent sales with your business, PPC and spending a lot of ad spend right away is not always the best thing, because you may not have your closing process down. You may not actually have like your follow-up process down, things like that. So we want to make sure everyone's generating consistent sales beforehand. Now, this is a great way to grow your sales and grow your business, but of course, we want to make sure you're generating consistent sales. You must be able to spend $1,000 per month in ad spend. For HOTH PPC, the full mamma jamma, as I said, you need to spend $1,000 per month in ad spend, and you must be able to commit to 3 months. Now, right now with the PPC webinar promo, we do have the get your third month for free, right? So you get 1 whole month free, and you just have to pay for the 2 months, and that's the commitment to 3 months. So if you want to start filling your sales pipeline, book a call now at thehoth.com/rock. Book a PPC strategy call, and we'll go from there. Very, very exciting stuff. All right, let's dive into it, Bobby. There we go. I'm taking a sip of water, and we can go through all these questions. So I'm very, very excited.
Yeah. Well, first off, there's a lot of questions about what would the strategy be for my industry, or how would we do it for iPhone repair? What should we do for this? That is the point of this call. We're probably not going to get into specifics on certain niches in the Q&A here. But again, book a call with us. We'll be happy to actually dive in and talk to you one-on-one about your niche. So if you have a question, go ahead and book a call with us now. We'd be happy to talk. So let's jump into some Q&A here. We got quite a few.
And let me just say kind of for a general statement for the different niches is that it's not so much always the strategy or what you can do. It's about figuring out the actual offer, right? So it's about figuring out what's going to be offered. So like I see this a lot with plumbers, electricians, right? Those local service businesses that have those high cost per clicks. And it seems like a lot of the market is very price sensitive. So it's like, who can give the most money off or things like that. And that's the information that we uncover when we start campaign planning and go through competitors. And we actually present to the client is like, hey, not only are we going to just do like get a free estimate, and a lot of times that does work, but we come up with a compelling offer, especially after we get some data, to make sure the campaign really, really works for you. I mean, day one, we're starting off strong. So that's something that we do. And I think that's one of our value props that we have with HOTH PPC.
And just a quick question on the deal coming from Chandra. Is the 1 month free, that is for not just call only and remarketing, that's for all of them, correct?
Yeah, so that's what's super exciting. So if you're on call only, remarketing only, or HOTH PPC, and you guys commit to the 3 months, you will get that 1 month free. Now, Bobby, how many people do we have on the call right now? Because I might just drop something that might be a little too crazy. And I'm hoping it'll push a little bit more interest in terms of booking those calls. We have a few hundred still, right?
You got something else up your sleeve, Carl?
I got one other piece. Who wants to hear the value bomb?
Yeah, we got
drop it. Patrick, he's screaming at me. What's going on? Go for it. All right. So we are a Google partner, so if you guys sign up with us and we create a Google ad account for you, you of course will have full ownership and admin access. For all of you people questioning that, we can actually get you, if you're eligible, up to $150 in ad spend free. Okay, so $150 in ad spend for free, plus if you sign up for that 3 month commitment, you will get your 3rd month free. So that is $500 in management fee plus $150 in ad spend. I mean, win-win, especially if you're just trying out that call only, or if you, even with HOTH PPC, that's $150 towards that $1,000 a month in ad spend.
Wow.
Yeah. So, yep. So a little ad spend goes a long way.
All right. Well, they got a lot to think about. Let's answer some questions here. Question: what do you guys? I know it's not one of the main 3 packages. Anything we do with Google Shopping though?
Yeah, so it's not, lead generation is really what HOTH PPC has been built on. But we did have one e-commerce result that I showed in there really quick. We have a handful of Google Shopping campaigns, and we see typically a 4 to 6x on ad spend. So if they spend $1, we're usually seeing $4 to $6 in return. It really depends on, we help optimize your data feed, your listings, everything like that. That will be coming soon as like a full-on marketing promotion, and that we're pushing it for HOTH PPC. But this one was generated around leads, focused on leads, but we do Google Shopping. Book a call if you want to learn more about Google Shopping.
Perfect. Now, we had a couple questions. You had mentioned white label a few times. A couple of people want to know, how would a typical call go for white label? Are we contacting their clients directly, or is there a conference call? How's that working?
Yeah, it's a great question for whoever shared that. So with our white label, everything we go through, it does go through to our reseller, and then they kind of regurgitate or send that over to their client. Now, with that being said, we make it so any sort of jargon, we simplify all of our emails and our reporting so much that you can just, typically resellers will kind of almost forward over the email. Obviously, it won't be from the HOTH, but they'll kind of just copy and paste it on over. But we do a really big job. I tell my campaign managers that a large portion of their job is educating. And so any questions as a reseller you might have, and even getting started with PPC and growing this to your clients, jump on a call with us and we'll be more than happy to help.
Perfect. All righty, let's move on down here. Nate wants to know, do you incorporate social media in your PPC campaigns at all?
Currently, we do not. This is something that might be in the works in the future, but I'll be more than happy to speak with you about it, Nate.
Perfect. All right. Ivan wants to know, and I want to ask this because I know you paused on it for a second there and you were explaining it further, but Ivan says, we do phone repairs. For the time being, our industry is not approved for Google AdWords. Is there any way around it?
Yeah, so the individual's name was Ivan, correct?
Yep.
All right, Ivan, so here you go. This is it. This is the strategy. This is what we've seen work, and we're spending currently $15,000 a month for a local repair shop. We've had to do very general ads. We can bid on iPhone repair, cracked screen, laptop repair, your big bread and butter keywords, and then we send them to a landing page and opt in. So we have found a workaround. We've actually worked with Google because we do have a Google rep through our Google partner badge, and we've worked with them day in and day out to make sure we get approved. And how do we scale? So they've worked with us, and we have kind of that hidden formula right now with the iPhone repair industry.
Perfect. Darren had some great questions. He had a quick question about what white label tools do you have to help us create proposals for our customers? You've actually created a couple free tools, right?
Yeah, so we have a few tools. We have a PPC ROI tool, so that actually allows you to hit your ad spend. You can put your cost per click in there and see how many leads you're going to generate. We do that for you as well. So if you want to book a call, we'll be more than happy to help you out with that with some estimates, especially when proposing that to your clients. We also have a competitor research tool that we can share as well.
Nice. So they got lots of resources to help out their clients.
And tons of blogs too. I think the blogs are some of the most helpful pieces, especially when kind of going through what we just went through for our strategy, what are the different style of campaigns and things like that.
Perfect. All right. What do you do? This is from Chandra again. What do you do if your keywords are highly competitive?
Yeah, so it really the big one was the drug and rehab space. I mean, those cost per clicks were anywhere from $50 to $200, just like a lawyer. We typically focus on our bread and butter keywords, so it could be more like personal injury attorney, St. Pete, Florida, right? That's more of a long tail keyword. And we're going to focus on those keywords that are going to drive us the most results. So in that first week or so, we're really testing a lot to see which is getting the most traffic. But it really depends on what specific niche. But typically when it's competitive, that means there's a lot more profit behind it as well. So attorneys, there's a lot of money to be made in that space with law firms. So, typically them paying for that higher cost per click, higher cost per lead pays off when they close that client.
Awesome. This is next one from Steven. He asked this probably 10 minutes ago as well. But do you guys do more max clicks or max conversions with a max cost per conversion or pure annual? How are you setting those up?
Steven, that's a great question. We start with manual. The reason being is because you want to give Google the best data possible and as clean as possible. Then you could always do maybe target CPA, but we usually stick with manual. Max clicks, max conversions. We've seen cost per click skyrocket, and we don't really reap the benefits of what automated bidding seems to be these days.
Gotcha. Again, we got a couple questions coming in about niche-specific strategies. Go ahead and just book that strategy call. Yeah. We can actually just take 10, 15 minutes and explain everything to you about your individual niche here.
Yeah, we can probably answer those specific questions as well as give you actual more specific examples of those niches and what we've done with them in the past.
Exactly. Yep. All right. This is from Kelly. Are display ads and search ads considered two different services? Are both done within the same account / different campaigns?
So two services in one account, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, we would so whatever, let's say it's for the HOTH, right? If we had a campaign all around SEO, we'd have that campaign all about SEO, and then we'd have another campaign all about PPC, and then we would have that in the same account and go from there. Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Yep. This is from Alex Gessel. He wants to know, he actually just started one of our managed SEO services, HOTH. Nice. How does it work? What are our options if we're just getting started on HOTH? I know there's rumors out there maybe of some SEO and PPC in the future, huh?
Maybe, potentially. He could be the trendsetter. So yeah, no, we have a lot of SEO and PPC clients running at the same time. When comparing SEO to PPC, I don't want to get too far into this rabbit hole or people coming with pitchforks in here. But, PPC is your short term. And of course, if you're growing your business with it, continue doing it. SEO is a long-term game, but PPC is great for remarketing. So any traffic you're getting organically, we can remarket to, try to re-engage with them, but also we can generate those leads for you in the meantime while you're building up your SEO. So I hope that answers your question.
All right, moving on here. We have we're going to coin this the smart campaign section of the Q&A because we have a couple different smart campaign questions here. First off, how do you actually know if you're running a smart campaign or not?
Yeah, so the smart campaign, when you just log into Google Ads or ads.google.com, you'll see a different icon to the left of the campaign than a typical. But once you click into that actual campaign, you'll see that dashboard that I kind of showed up, and you won't have much controls. So once again, I would probably book a call, maybe send in a screenshot, even to support@thehoth.com, and we can take a look at it for you.
Awesome. And Jordan Caldwell wants to know, do smart campaigns use smart bidding automatically?
Correct. Yeah. So it's kind of like you could set up a campaign, and I always joke it's like 5 minutes because you can set up a campaign during that time. You plug in your website URL, and it does use smart bidding.
Gotcha. And
sorry, Bobby.
Oh, go ahead.
To kind of clarify on that, though, you can use a standard campaign, as I showed, that we prefer to use with automated bidding. So there might be a little confusion with that.
Gotcha. Yeah, because Megan actually wanted to know, do you use smart bidding within your non-smart campaigns?
Currently, we do not, unless we have about 6 or 8 months worth of data. We'll maybe go to target CPA at that point, but it's very rare that we use it. We usually use manual CPC because we have a lot more control over our keywords and our bids. And in the beginning, you'll usually spend a lot of money on traffic you don't want.
Perfect. Now, question, getting into some leads here. Do you find that this is from Jordan, do you find that the phone calls are more qualified than the form fills you get?
Yeah, it really depends on your business and the urgency. So form fills are great when people are wanting to, just reach out and they're okay with more of a delay, I would say, in getting a response. Phone calls I love, and I personally preach for almost every client of ours, because if they do accept phone calls, because it's somebody calling you right now and saying, hey, I need your service now. Or, it's kind of like a lot of these businesses, especially when it's like get a quote or get an estimate, it's whoever kind of picks up that phone first and gives you that quote and says, yeah, I can be there in 30 minutes to fix your pipes or something of that nature. Most people with phone calls need that service right now, or they're going to go on and look at your competitors' ads.
Gotcha. Now, from David here, he just wants to know some standards on good conversion rates. What do we typically look for?
Yeah, so for our lead generation campaigns, our minimum benchmark is 10%. And that's where we focus at. Typically, a website will only get about 1 to 3%. Just depends on how well optimized the website is. But typically, that's what we see, and our landing pages get a minimum 10% conversion rate.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Now, this is actually a question we answered in the chat, but I kind of thought it was worth touching on again in the Q&A. It was a good question from Jonathan. He said, how specifically are you using negative keywords? But more so, what is the outcome you're hoping to accomplish when implementing negative keywords?
That's a great question. So negative keywords, once again, we don't want our ads to show up for specific things. So let's look at a roofer, right? We had this come up. So one thing with like a roofer or anytime it's local service business, we're going to implement items that maybe a DIYer would actually type in, like supplies, tools, specific tools, Home Depot, your big box stores, like where they can go get roofing supplies, just anything that our business does not offer, we add in as a negative keyword, because people can search for that and our ads can come up, and we don't want that. We don't want that wasted click, or we don't want that wasted call. That's not only wasting money, but it's also wasting your team's time as well at that point.
Yeah, I know a couple of the big ones we always axe right away running our HOTH campaigns is the word job, because if people search SEO jobs, that's not someone looking to buy our services. So jobs is always a great one to axe, and then like courses,
right? SEO
courses. We don't sell any SEO courses. People are just looking to learn SEO.
Yep.
So always two great words to start with there.
Yeah. One thing, once again, we're all about processes and strategy here at processes and systems here at the HOTH, and I've actually built a master negative keyword list, and there's hundreds of negative keywords, just as you said, Bobby. Jobs, hiring, big box stores, models of cars, types of cars that we have readily available. So we're not wasting that time. We have that ready to go, and that's just part of our process.
Boom. That's awesome. Now, Christina wants to know, how many ads do you typically suggest to have per campaign?
Yeah, so it really depends on the business, but typically we start out with about 4 ad groups, which have 3 ads per ad group. So that's about 12 ads. We start out very simple, and then we can grow from there, because a lot of times people will build out these overcomplicated campaigns, and then they spend all this time, a month, 2 months, right? I've heard some horror stories of agencies building campaigns and going live after 2-3 months. They get all this up and it doesn't work, or it works barely and only one portion. So we start very simple, small. We get you up in live in less than 10 business days. And that's how we start, with just about maybe 9 to 12 ads at a time.
Gotcha. That's great though. It gives a lot of chances for that ad to resonate with someone.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All righty, moving on here. Again, if you have any more questions, drop them in the chat. If you have any big questions, go ahead and book a call with us.
Yep.
Right now, we'd be happy to talk on the phone. Today, tomorrow, sometime next week. It is completely your choice. All right. How do you pre-estimate cost per lead before the campaigns start? Are you using any tools?
Yeah, we've actually built our own PBC ROI tool, which I'm going to share right now inside of the chat. You guys can use that. So we gather the cost per click, and then we plug in our conversion rate, which we benchmark at 10%, and then we calculate everything from there. Once again, we want to just kind of give everyone a list, and we made the tool already just so you don't have to kind of do it by hand or anything like that. So I'll share that with you guys.
Perfect. One more smart campaign slid in at the end here from Jonathan. Mm-hmm. How do you change over a client from a smart campaign to a standard search campaign?
Yeah, so unfortunately, you have to fully rebuild the campaign to a standard campaign. Now, on the top right-hand side under Tools and Settings, you may have a button that says Switch to Expert Mode. Look for that, but you have to rebuild the campaign.
Gotcha.
Yep.
All right. Martin just put a question in there. Let's jump to a recent question here. Have you ever worked with web agencies on running ads for web development? I think I did see that on your big list of niches there. What is the average cost per lead for e-commerce web development and app development?
Yeah, Martin, that's a great question, and we have worked with many, many web agencies. The cost per click for them is very high. It's very competitive, but as you know, app development can range from anywhere from $5,000 to $100,000 jobs all the way, and then web design as well. So the payout is very, very good on the back end. We see leads anywhere from $100 to $400 in that range. So I just like to give that range because we've worked with individuals in the U.S., in different states, all the way in different countries. So it's kind of all over the place. But yes, we have worked with e-commerce and web development and app development. You have to be very specific with the landing pages. People are looking for fast results, guaranteed almost results, on time, things like that. So we get very specific with the copy. And I would say I feel confident in that industry that we've kind of created that formula for a well-off campaign from the start.
All right, from Varun, how many keywords per ad group do you suggest?
Yeah, if we're looking at our ad spend of minimum $1,000 for HOTH PPC, 10 or less, any more than that, you're just overkill. Just Google's kind of choked with the budget at that point.
Yeah, you don't want to do too many, right, and start getting away from the main ad group.
Yep. Yeah, and also then just like Google sometimes will just not know where to spend. You want to spend money on the keywords that are really going to move the needle on your business.
Noah wants to know, any guidance on location targeting or exclusions?
Yeah, so excluding, it really comes down to the settings, but then like we have once again a huge list that we put in for exclusion. So if I'm focused on just St. Pete, Florida, where we're at right now for HOTH HQ, and I'm a local service business, I would actually exclude the surrounding areas, just if I don't service those individuals, of course, just so people only in my area or live in my area can see my ads. I don't want people that are just kind of driving through for the day.
All right, moving on here. Let's see. Frank, what are your thoughts on lead form extensions? Useful or stick with a traditional landing page?
Yeah, that's a great question. So in theory, the lead form extensions are really great because they kind of hang below the ad. Somebody click on it and just input their information. But the biggest problem that I've seen with these, and we've tried a few of these, is that it takes a lot of time for the user to actually catch up to newest technology or features. So they may not be relatively used to actually clicking on it, it popping up and you inputting your information, whereas they're typically used to going on the landing page and opting in compared to a lead form extension.
Gotcha. Robbie Ramos would like to know, do you only focus on phrase and exact match type for keywords?
Yeah, so we typically start with phrase and exact match. A little secret with our call only campaigns, we do open those up to broad match modified to begin with, just because we don't see too many impressions when we have phrase or exact match. Like with call only, it seems like when on mobile only, you need a lot of impressions coming through. So broad match modified, phrase and exact match for call only. Search campaigns are going to always start with phrase and exact match. Now, if we're looking for some more keyword ideas, we need some more impressions, we can always open it up to broad match modified, but we typically always stay away from broad match.
One more from Darren. This is a good question too. What is your audit process and proposal process like for agencies?
Yeah, so I'm guessing if we were just to do a campaign for agencies, we're going to really focus on like what's the bread and butter services. Are they currently running campaigns? Of course, how are they currently getting clients? Because digital marketing agency, I tend to see that they want to go really general. They want to focus on digital marketing agency or digital marketing services. Somebody types that in, digital marketing agency, that could mean they're looking for SEO, they're looking for PPC, they're looking for web design, they're looking for a coder, they're looking for social media, they're looking for email marketing. I mean, it could mean so many different things. So we really try to focus in on a specific service that you're really, really great at, and then build out those estimates and that proposal from there.
Awesome. Yeah, we love working with agencies.
Yep.
Getting down to the last few questions here. If you got any more, put them in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget to book your strategy session, thehoth.com/rock. This is from David. Can you use a global product brand keyword in a campaign who are competitors?
Global product brand keyword. So I'm guessing this would be if somebody typed in like Nike shoes and you want to bid on that. Now, if that's trademarked or copyright, you will be limited by budget, and also Nike or that brand could turn around and get your ads reported and shut you down for copyright infringement. So there is that risk. If it is with a smaller brand, most of the time that's not going to happen, but you will, if it is a copyright keyword, you will be limited by Google, meaning you'll get less impressions, meaning less clicks and less leads or sales.
Now, Brendan is kind of curious here. He says, is it possible that a business is so niche that there is few or no conversions on a monthly basis? Is that because my positioning and strategy when targeting is ineffective?
Yeah, so I would say ineffective is kind of a strong word. I would say your targeting is too tight, meaning you probably have maybe exact and phrase match keywords, but your keywords might be like a little too long tail, meaning if you were a personal injury attorney and you focus on like personal injury attorney, downtown, Houston, Texas, that's crazy. And most people are not going to be searching for that. So that's what I would focus on, is looking at your keywords and seeing if they're a little bit too tight and if you can expand them in any ways or go a little bit more general.
And there's always another option, Brendan. If you want us to take a look, book a strategy call, we can go in there and dig around and see what the heck is going on in there. Because as I've seen, there's always a way to get conversions.
Yeah, definitely. And I see the calls getting booked now, guys. So definitely make sure you want to go on the hoth.com/rock and make sure you get that call booked. We are getting those calls booked, and it looks like if you guys want to have a call in the next week or so, definitely want to go and book that call now before the spots fill up for at least the near future.
All right, we got one more from Varun here. How do you improve landing page score? What factors does Google AdWords consider for increasing the landing page score?
Yeah, so this is going to be mobile usability, making sure that it's mobile, making sure that the page speed is good. Like I said, 3 seconds or less. The content, so you want to make sure that your main keyword, if we're focused on PPC agency or PPC service, that on the landing page and the headline, that main keyword is in there, so your content's relevant and it's good consumable content, so small blurbs, as well as you kind of have those content around PPC service or PPC agency, whatever your main theme of your campaign is all about that in the landing page. So we don't want it going to a home page and being about multiple services, or my services page and I go to a page with a whole bunch of different services. Keep it very, very relevant. So that landing page relevance score will go up because of the content, mobility, as well as landing page speed score. Conversion rate, of course, it factors in, but those first 3 ones are going to be your big ones.
All right, that is about it. So we got one more from Martin here. Have you ever ran ads for pay-per-lead agencies? If so, what were the results? Have we ever ran any, Carl?
No, it sounds like it would be. We don't really run ads for PPC, competitors or individuals like that. So it'd be competing with ourselves, and we typically don't do that. The pay-per-lead we have not worked with, once again, so that's definitely an interesting niche, but we have not worked with them in the past.
All righty, I think that does it. If you ever want to see any more results too, we have a case study hub, thehoth.com/case-studies. Carl's got, I think, 3 or 4 PPC case studies in there that highlight some of the they go in depth on how we've been able to turn campaigns around to generate leads, lower CPCs, everything.
Yep, definitely. There's a lot of good stuff in there. Once again, book your guys' call. I see them getting booked up now. So there we go. There's the HOTH.com/rock. Thank you all for spending an hour and 30 minutes with us today. This was a great time. I hope everyone got a little take from it. Remember, it's all about how do we grow your business consistently and just having those right pieces in the right places. And Google Ads typically can work for most every single business. As long as you're getting those consistent sales and ready to grow business, we can definitely help you. So HOTH.com/rock. Book a call with us, learn more about PPC if you like, and HOTH PPC in general. And then remember, you get 1 month free when you commit to 3 months of HOTH PPC, plus that added on bonus of $150 in ad spend. So look forward to hearing from you guys. Talk to you soon.
All righty. Thanks, guys. Have a great rest of your Thursday.
Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye.